comfortable with what that looks like, the transition and change. So I would say just even having a confidence coming back to you.
What's the difference of playing at this stage? You know, the spotlight here and the competition.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just basketball, which is the blessing about it. But then there's always added factors about. I mean, we play on the biggest stage. We play in big games. We play in very fun environments. But also, you're playing alongside some of the best basketball players in the world, and so it's just different. It's different.
What's the key to confidence? You know, Kyler talked about you and him. Like, confidence is key. What's the key to keeping confidence through some struggles?
Yeah, just remembering, like, there's a reason why Coach Underwood recruited us to play here. We're all really good basketball players, and so there's understanding that there's ups and downs to all of the season, but then remembering at the end of the day, I'm a good basketball player by the grace of God. And so I just want to walk in here and play that way.
You guys obviously had a lot of CIs in this offseason. Is that something that excites you? Just, you know, looking at how this roster is made up and how that maybe changes how you guys are going to play on the floor next year?
Yeah, absolutely. It's, with all the new faces, it's fun. A lot of different skills and abilities, adding some size, adding some age. It's, I mean, pretty different team from last year. Just with the transition and the change, it's been fun getting to know these guys on and off the court. So I'm only excited to see how we're going to continue to gel on the court.
What does Coach Crocker's impact been on the defense thus far?
Yeah, he brings a really fun energy for us. A guy that shows up and wants an all-out effort from us, which is, I mean, a big Illinois thing, just an all-out effort. And so him presenting different challenges to us that may seem different to how we might have guarded in the past, but just ultimately showing up and playing with an effort, so then failing with great effort.
What is different for you right now compared to when you got here a year ago? Like, how are you different? How does it feel?
Oh, I mean, by the grace of God, I've been taught a lot over the last year. I feel like I mentioned the confidence walking in here, just even having a little bit of an identity change that like I'm going to play really hard, and I'm going to stop caring so much about the stuff that I can't control. But I get the opportunity, or I can control just how I show up every day. And so I'm less worried about so many different things than what I was probably a year ago.
An identity change, like, how difficult is that to change your mindset?
Yeah, it's I mean, I don't know how much you guys need me to preach today, but it's one of those things that, like, my foundation is set in who I am in Christ. And so I get the opportunity to come in here and say that I'm a child of God just because of what Jesus did for me. And so now, like, that's what matters to me here today. And so I'm going to make shots, miss shots, turn the ball over. I'm going to guard and sometimes not get stops, but ultimately my identity doesn't change because of that.
This time last year, it was 10 new guys. Does this feel more like year two for you guys with the core group of veterans coming back?
Yeah, I think having Bam, Tommy, Jake, I don't want to keep naming names because I'll miss somebody, but it's one of those things that we have a good group that I think last year with so many new guys, we would look to coaches, but then after like looking at a guy like Ty and Dre, we weren't really sure exactly like what the culture was like. But now that we've had an established culture already coming back, it was easier to help the new guys understand that.
It was like seeing a couple of your team. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You mentioned the new guys. What's impressed you about Dr. being the freshman or the transfer?
Yeah, I didn't know most of the guys coming in, and so I'm really impressed by the skill of each of the guys. I'm impressed by their growth. A lot of guys putting on a lot of weight. I mean, Fletch has done a great job with transformation on so many different people. I've been impressed by their skill and their ability to show up every day and just do what's right.
What was it like watching a couple of your teammates go in the first round?
Oh, that was so exciting. We were up watching it in the team room together, and when KJ got called, we just exploded. I'm incredibly excited for KJ and Will, excited for where they're at and what they're doing, and it was such fun. I mean, after having a whole year with those guys, to see them flourish at where they're at.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've accomplished as a team this summer, even without maybe a full roster?
Yeah, I think we've been able to put in a lot of just the fundamental ideas of what we want to do offensively and defensively. And I think that as we start to get to some of the technical stuff of how once everybody's here, I think we have a really great foundation for how we're going to move forward.
Is it tough knowing like there's still like two more guys that you have to work in and you just can't get them here yet?
Yeah, I would say it's difficult to know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've talked to some of those guys, or both of them, a little bit, but I don't know much about how that's going to work. We're just excited for when they eventually get over here, and we're going to see how they're going to fit in.
What can you tell us about Andre?
Oh, incredibly skilled, crafted. He's a guy that shows up like a professional. That he's a very consistent dude when he shows up. Brings some years of experience playing at Cal and Stanford, but then also a guy that's just really good at what he does.
Have you been able to feel Bam's presence already kind of this summer and how you guys are going to establish things?
Yeah, Bam's been one of the big leaders in our culture about how we're going to show up with a presence offensively and defensively, and then even just with a working mindset. And so Bam's been great with continuing to lead us. I mean, a guy that's had a bunch of years of experience in college basketball now and just taking on that leadership role well.
Tommy mentioned his honesty with everybody.
Yeah.
How does that help you, just knowing that you're going to get scrimmage from Bam?
Yeah. With Bam, he's been great with, like, when people are slacking, just calling it what it is. That when we need to redirect the way that we're working, and when energy falls, he's one of those guys that's just going to say it how it is. And that's honestly, it can be tough love, but it's the way that it needs to be done. So it's been encouraging.
Sorry, Ben. When we talked to you in the locker room in Milwaukee, you weren't really sure what your future held. What happened between then and now to put you back in this position where you're at now?
Yeah, I think in Milwaukee, I kind of knew what I was going to do, but just the emotion and just where I was on that day, I was just kind of soaking in what the end of that season or whatever. And so when it came time once I took a few days, came time to make a decision, I knew when I was going to go back to college, I was coming back to Illinois.
Kyle talked about just the work he's put on his jump shot this summer. What do you guys talk about when it comes to shooting? You break it down with each other and you point out little things.
Yeah. I mean, Kyle talked a bunch about confidence, and Jake and I even talked about this yesterday. Like, we're actually all really good shooters, and sometimes it just comes down to confidence. And the big motto that Jake and I have is, like, when things get hard, like, we need to shoot less and go on more walks. You know, that it's just like there's ebbs and flows that we're going to experience, but Kyle and in this group, we're a bunch of really good shooters, and I'm excited to see how that's going to go for us.
What does Kylan do to be able to call stuff out?